Now see...
Unforgettable, a tough series. Both clubs riding each other, doing everything to get each other's goat.
A Time with Art!
Good morning and welcome to A Time with Art. Our podcast today is going to be interesting about non-traditional education at SUU. And we have Linda here.
Linda Hudson, yes. Hello.
Anyway, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great. And we want to talk about that program and what you do, but maybe we should start how you came to Southern Utah.
Okay.
The university.
Absolutely.
Or maybe even to Cedar City itself.
Yes, well, I moved here from Southern California to Cedar City back in 2010. And then I decided that it was time for me to go back to school.
Okay.
I took a 20-year break from school and I started here at SUU with the venture program where I was able to take some humanities credits that were transferable here, reintroduced me to higher education and fell in love with it. And I'm still going to school here actually. So I got my bachelor's degree here and went on to get my MPA and now I'm working on my MBA.
Oh, good. So your major was?
In my bachelor's program was sociology.
Sociology,
and then I did
okay.
the MPA with an emphasis in higher education. And now I'm just doing general in the MBA.
Well, the MPA program is pretty interesting.
It's wonderful.
In and of itself.
Yes, exactly. It's a great program. I was very happy with that and love their alumni, affiliation. So it's great.
So did you need a master's degree to continue in non-traditional
No,
here at SUU?
No, I started off not having a degree at all. My old background is in residential property management in California. I did that for about 17 years before I came here and then decided to, when I went to school, I fell in love with it. And so you couldn't have asked me if I wanted to go to school when I graduated high school. That was not the case, but coming back as a non-traditional student, I was a single parent working, part-time, coming to school, and it was just a great, phenomenal opportunity. And then I started working in the non-traditional student services office back in 2016, and I've been there since and love it. So, yeah.
2016, that's the year I went to teach in China.
Oh, wow. That's phenomenal.
But I don't know
That's
Chinese. I just taught to them in English.
English, okay.
And then they supposedly knew English, learning it was at WPU, Wuhan.
Okay.
And that's where the virus supposedly
Oh, wow.
broke out, but they have two campuses. And we weren't there at that one. We were over by the river,
Oh, wow.
by the Yangtze. And so that's their quote-unquote new campus.
That's
But
amazing.
it was fun, and we had a lot of the students come here. And
That's
so
wonderful.
you've seen Chinese students here.
Yes.
Most of them have come from Wuhan, but others come on their own.
It's wonderful.
It's kind of interesting how some of these people get here, isn't it?
It is how we find our way here, and I think most people would agree with me that once you're here for the long haul. It's great.
You're here, you're going to stay.
Absolutely.
What about students who come here that you help? Talk about the different services that.
So our office here is great. We have a nice place for non-traditional students. They're located right next to the radio station here in the Student Center. And it's a nice place for people to come in and network, because when you're a non-traditional student, typically you've taken at least a 3-year break or longer. Maybe you're married or have children. So the learning environment's a lot different. And the feeling of belonging at a university when you are with a lot of freshly out of high school students, it's intimidating, and it's very, sometimes you just don't feel like you belong. And so our office is definitely designed to help our non-traditional students, offer them specialized events, give them a place that they can network with others and have a place for them to feel like they belong. And what we do is we do peer mentoring there. So I have student workers that have their own life experiences and then also are going to school here. And so it's helpful. We reach out to every single non-traditional student in the undergraduate programs on campus and reach out to them every semester to make sure that they're connected with all the resources they need, both on and off campus.
So is the focus on undergrads or is
Undergraduate students,
it on master
yes.
students too?
No, I mean, most graduate students are non-traditional. In fact, they're probably more 90%. But no, at the undergraduate level is where we're reaching out to. Not that they wouldn't be welcome to come in for advice or help or
Trying
anything
to
like that.
reinvent them into the university.
Exactly, trying to get them through their first
that's
degree, especially with having a large break and with technology changing. It's challenging for a lot of students, but hopefully we help them overcome that and any other barriers that they may be facing, childcare, things like that. So
Well, they have the home now. The
we're
president's
so
home
lucky
now.
that, yes, exactly. That was actually
Do you know how that came about?
I do. I've been on their advising committee since the inception of it. So it was one of our non-traditional students who just had a young child at home and was going through a divorce and really struggled to find childcare. And because we didn't have a childcare center here on campus, back in the old days, we used to do what's called an EDGE project in order for you to graduate. And so her EDGE project was trying to develop and get people on board to create a child care center like other universities have. And so our old previous president, Scott Wyatt, and his wife, Kathy, they jumped on board with that idea and created a committee. And now we have our own child care center and preschool on campus here. And they were gracious to donate their home so we can convert it into a center. And that is designated for only our student parents here on campus. So they have a place to be.
And that was a much needed service, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We have several student parents here that have everywhere from, infants to school-age children. And so that's a great, beautiful place. And then, of course, all the education and early childhood development students get to do practicum over there in the preschool, and which that is available to the entire community. But the child care center is the top 2 floors and preschool's on the bottom.
Okay.
But
so,
it filled a really, really big need.
Yeah.
And it's called, the Center for Hope. And Hope is the young child of the student. Her name is Hope. And I think it was wonderful that that all came about thanks to gracious donors and a lot of hard work.
So you have to work some of these people back in to situations in classrooms where
Absolutely.
they might be the oldest person in the class.
That's difficult. I experienced that with myself. I thought I can be everyone's mother in this classroom, and that just is challenging. But I embraced it with as much, openness as I could, because I knew that they would be able to contribute to my education and their perspective, as well as I can help them with my life experiences. And so it's helpful to have somebody who knows what it's like to go back to school, maybe a little older, maybe has a family, and go to school where it typically feels like it's designated only for younger students, but that's not the case. Almost 44% of this whole school is considered non-traditional. It's a very large population. So.
Well, that's larger than I would have thought.
Yeah, most people are surprised to hear that number. And as the younger population dips down that we're going to be experiencing right now, getting more non-traditional students will probably hit that 50% mark before we know it. So I think it's nice that we have places and people that they can talk to.
And some of the students seem to be getting younger and younger. Maybe it's just that I'm getting older and older.
It could be. I don't know. I'm in the same boat as you, but we're having a lot of people who may have started their education years ago and maybe got married, may have had family, and they're coming back to school now and integrating back into the system, which I love. I love that education lives forever, and so I'm still a student myself, and I just embrace it as much as I can.
Well, that's very good. It's outstanding that we have those programs for you and others.
Yes,
and I guess when some of them come back, they wonder, what am I going to do now?
Exactly. And so it's ours, maybe they're already in a career and they're coming for a degree to hopefully maybe get a promotion or move up the ladder. And so, but getting their comfort level and learning how to rebalance family life, work, school is a challenge for many people. If you can't find that balance, then you may struggle. So
I had an older gentleman in a class last fall
Mm-hmm.
with 30 other basically kids,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, some of them were juniors probably, but mostly it was intro to ad and public relations.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he was really helpful with the others. and seemed to work. We did some group work,
Yeah, group work is great
and
to
that
have a
worked
nice.
for him, and it probably works for others. That then you
Yes.
can talk about what you know versus what they know, and it helps them a lot.
Absolutely. That's what we try to tell our students too, is that you have a lot to contribute, because I know that their biggest fear is the group projects, and people tend to want to be with non-traditional students because, well, we have, maybe a little bit more experience or life knowledge, that's all. And so we can contribute as well, and that's what we try to give that message to our students, is that just because you're in group projects or a class filled with younger folks, then it's your contribution that's also helpful. So.
Well, I've kind of gotten to know you because I walk through all the
Yes,
time.
yes.
Because the door around the corner is not necessarily a public entrance.
Yes.
Because it's not open all the time.
Yeah.
So I come through that way.
Yeah.
And then some of my podcast guests come through there, and Rod probably has that same issue.
Yeah.
But what kinds of activities do you plan, or do you have things set up for some of these people to do outside of the classroom?
So outside of the classroom, we offer an event every semester. Usually in the fall, we'll do something that's more family oriented, where you can bring your whole family. Not all activities you can do that on campus because they're not considered students. So we open it up to everyone, bring their kids, bring their spouses, bring, their friends, whoever they want to come, and do a fun activity that we have designed for them so they can network amongst themselves. This semester, we're going to do an activity we're going to do adults only, and we're going to offer actually free childcare to our student parents over at the Child Care Center.
Okay.
So they have an opportunity to have an evening out and have it at have their children well taken care of over at the center. And we just encourage people to participate in that because it's helpful to see other either couples or whatever makes you a non-trad, you will be able to network with them as well.
Get them to make new friends,
Exactly.
maybe, that are in the same boat they are.
Sure, because
Trying
not
to
everybody's
get back to
interested
school.
exactly in going to the real late night parties or dances or
Yeah.
things like that. So this is a more scaled down version, but it's nice because you could also bring spouses for free, and or partners or friends, and it's just another event just for non-trads.
So are you able to work with the office there where they decide what credits you need and how we're going to do
Absolutely. I feel like we're a little bit of a jack of all trades, masters of none, but we are kind of like the hub or the spoke.
Yeah.
We have knowledge of a little bit of everything, whether if it's financial or community resources or career advisement or anything. We definitely will connect you with anybody on campus and help guide you through any processes that you may need to go through. We get a lot of students that are interested in coming back, so we help them go through admissions and enrollment and registering for classes and things like that. So we do, like I said, a little bit of everything. So
this? In my classes, I've had students who have come back, and I taught them before, and now
Okay.
they're back.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so I know it's hard for the registrar to decide how this works, because after so many years,
you do have to
lose your
reapply,
credits, right?
and eventually they do expire, but thank goodness it is a long time period before they actually do.
And they can get life learning credits, can't they?
Well, I'm hoping we're going to bring that back, and I may be mistaken. We used to have a prior learning
Yeah.
assessment where you can earn up to like 15 credits for prior life experiences. It may be back. I can't 100% say that, but I know that there may be a program that they're going to bring back to do that.
So do some of the non-trads have testing available where they can clip
lot
out of a class?
Yeah, there are options at the testing center that you can clip out of certain classes or use transcripts from other universities to matriculate old credits in here to go towards your degree. And so, yes, they can do that as well. So,
That's really a valuable thing, because I have some students that haven't graduated.
mm-hmm.
And some of that's probably because of the math class, that they couldn't get through that.
Exactly.
And I know there are people who do a lot of great tutoring work and
Absolutely.
teachers in that area that work hard to get these kids to, and now she's had a great career in radio and is a voiceover
That's wonderful.
broadcaster, but I've talked to her over time, and she still hasn't gotten that degree.
Finished that.
But in some of these radio jobs, all they care about is how good your voice is.
Uh-huh.
And so she's done that and been very successful up in the Salt Lake market. And she told me she was doing broadcasting for a station, or maybe a group of stations in Texas.
Oh, okay.
And then she does the you know, the intros and outros and stuff like that.
Nice.
And everything when there's a break between commercials, and you're listening to such and such, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So you're listening to Art's podcast today with Linda Hudson. So tell me about opportunities for students to work with you, and how does that work?
So pretty much we actually try to identify them before they even start the semester, and we'll do outreach to, like I said, every single student. Most of them are appreciative of it, and we check in on them and see how they're doing. And I think the biggest thing is a lot of people wish they knew about our center long before they graduate, because we are helpful with, you know, connecting you with resources, especially off campus. Yeah. You know, there are programs in our state, in our city, county that can help you get through school, and a lot of people just don't know what is out there available. So you don't know what you don't know. So that's why we encourage people to come in, check us out, see what we do, how we can help you be successful, whatever that looks like for you. So.
And that has been a stress. I know President Scott, when he was here, I know that's not his last name, but he really worked to develop more jobs.
Absolutely.
And I think President Benson was doing that too.
Exactly.
And the focus is to get kids to have jobs so they can afford to still go to school and work. And you probably work with students who have frustrations because, what are we going to do next semester? How will I make enough money?
How will I,
so
move
I know
on?
You do some counseling too, right?
Oh, absolutely. We help people understand what they can do so they can get through school. We do have a couple specialized scholarships that are designated only for non-traditional students. So that's helpful. I mean, anything that's helpful. We have even, you know, hopefully the grant will continue to help out with paying for childcare and things like that. So there are many avenues that you can go to make sure that you set yourself up for the most success at school and life in general.
Well, that's good. I know a lot of people don't know when they walk by, because this is a main corridor, right?
Sure.
For students, community members going to Chick-fil-A. A commercial for Chick-fil-A there, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but they see your office, but they don't really know what it is.
And sometimes the
until they need
definition is they're not sure, or some people don't feel like they identify as non-traditional. They typically think that you're older. I mean, our definition is 25 or older, or married, widowed, divorced, have children, or took a 3-year gap or longer. So you can have somebody as young as, say, 21 who graduated high school 3 years ago, and they're considered non-traditional. And it's just that small lag in experience in the classroom. Sometimes that could just make it more challenging to come back and stay motivated and you know, integrated into the university and feel like they belong and want to be part of the student life here. So we encourage people to really try to do something to get involved in some way, whether if it's volunteering with a community resource center or anything like that. It's helpful for people.
So you do a lot of work with students and jobs all over campus.
Well, I mean, we do employ only student workers. I'm the only staff member in there, so we have internships. I have 2 interns this semester and other student workers that we employ and work study in our office now. And but definitely connecting them with the Career Center and making sure that they know, so they're not changing their mind several times. People typically tend to change their major as they start taking classes, and we just don't have the time or the money to be doing that as non-traditional students. So we try to connect them and do an assessment first and meet with our career and development office that we have, which is great, attend job fairs and do resume building and, you know, make sure you're up to date on technology and profiles and things like that. So we will definitely help them with that as well, but more so try to make a connection with our Career Center.
So the office right here where you work,
Yes.
Every semester you have to get new ones?
Depends. Hopefully,
some go over, which is good for you.
Yes, exactly. Usually they leave because they're graduating. So typically, yes, they'll work with me every semester until either they graduate, and so we do have turnover because of that. But it's great experience. It's just nice to be able to help other people. I get a lot of psychology majors, communication majors. FLHD majors that come in. This is a great opportunity to learn how to better connect with people, diverse people from all types of life experiences. And so those wanting to go into that field, it's helpful to work in our office. So
Well, it sounds like a learning experience
It
for
is.
them too,
it is.
because they don't always know what's available, what they can do, what they need to do to get there, and all
Yeah.
of these different things.
And it's great because those students don't even know that those resources were available to them as well. So learning about what's on campus, I think, is the best advice I can give to anybody working or going to school here is get to know what's available because there are places to support you.
Okay. Well, just what would you like to leave the audience about the non-traditional work and the office here? And what, if they're listening and they need something and they thought, wow, I need to go there.
Absolutely. Well, I think the biggest message that we try to convey is that you belong here. This is where you are meant to be. School is for everyone, no matter your age or life circumstances, you can do it. And it's nice to come to our office and connect with people who have or are going through it themselves. And so being relatable to people and understanding life and how things work and the challenges and the barriers that we have to overcome, I think that is our biggest message. See us, come connect with us. You don't know what you don't know, so we do, and I think it's helpful to kind of get through the red tape or whatever you want to call it. But, just because we have the experience of going through it, I think it's helpful to have people that can relate to you. So.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think you do a great service, and it's been great to have you on the program.
Thank you.
And now I'll know you a little better when I walk through.
Exactly. That would be great.
And Rob too, right? He's
Yeah,
always-
no, I know Rob very well. So,
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for being here with us.
of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
It's good.
All
Thank
right.
you.